Hello everyone. I welcome you all for today's session on digital system design using Verilog. That's the second lecture on module 2 memories. I'm your friend Mahadev Khandira, Assistant Professor, Department of ENC, Gosia College of Engineering. If you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel, click on the bell icon for further notification. So first let us see the continuation of the memory concepts. So in the previous class, we have seen how the configuration of memories is there and how the design of the memories can be done. Okay, so now let us see some of the manufacturers, how they are manufacturing a different configurations of the memories there, or what are the organization of the memories, what they are manufacturing there. Okay, so manufacturer provides semiconductor memory components in the range of capacities varying from a kilobits through several megabits and up to a 2 gigabits for separately packaged memory components. So you can observe a different manufacturers can manufacture of a different size of kilobits, megabits, or a gigabits. Again, it depends upon the user requirements. So memory manufacturer, there is a memory manufacturer provides a component organized with a different width also there. Other than the size of the memory location, it can be manufactured with a different memory width also. So that can vary from 1 bit, 4 bit, 8 bit, or a 16 bit per locations there. Okay. Now let us see simple example of the manufacturing capacity of the memory for different configuration. Okay, here we have seen an example of 16K memory location, each of 48 bits has to be designed. But the problem is that the manufacturer have manufactured only 16K and 16 bits. That is 16K cross 16 bit. It means it is having 16K, which is satisfying our requirement. But if you see the width of the memory, here it is 48, but manufacturer has manufactured 16. Okay, so how to design that? In simple way, divide this 48 with the 16 bit. How many we have? 3. It means that we need a memory of 16K cross 16 bits, 3 in numbers. Okay, so let us see that one. So if you observe that particular figure here, this is 1 memory, 2 memory, and 3 memory. How? When 48 is divided by 3, it is stated here is 16 bits 0 to 15, next 16 to 31, next 32 to 47. So you can observe outputs are having a different configuration what we have there. Okay. Now, if you observe the input side, all the inputs are shorted there. So observe enable in all the 3 are same, which is been connected to the enable pin. Right pin is common, which is connected to the right pin. You can see the highlight, the connection part there, and the address lines, because 16K is what? 2 raised to 14. When 2 raised to 14, it is 0 to 13 is the address lines what is required, and 16 is the input line, 16 is the output line. So we have data in as 15 to down to 0, 31 down to 16, 47 down to 32. So in this way, we can manufacture any size of the memory location depending upon the available resources. Only thing is we should know is that how to design that one. That's most important thing there. Okay, clear? So now this is one of the design what we have. Now let us see the another design what we have, okay, in the future then. But before that, what I have explained it has been written here. So we need to partition the total number of location among the memory components. Okay, according to the design, we need to partition that. So for each read and write operation, we need to arrange for the components containing the required location to perform the operation there, and for other components to remain passive. So we have to design in such a way that whichever memory location is active, that need to be activated, and remaining has to be passive there. So in many applications, the total number of location is of the power of 2. Generally, as we know, we are studying in digital system, by default, almost all it is power of 2, the design of any memory location there. So we say it as 2 raised to n. And each memory component has a smaller number of locations, that is 2 raised to k. If you observe in the previous concept, memory size was same but width was different. Okay, so now the number of memory component is how to design. So 2 raised to n divided by 2 raised to k if the memory size is more than. Okay, so now simplest approach of partitioning is that we have first 2 raised to k location in the first component, second 2 raised to k in the second, and so on. We have to connect it as we have seen it in this particular figure there. Okay, so if we number the individual memory components, we number it from 0, 1, 2, 3 like this. How? So 2 raised to n divided by 2 raised to k, we get some number that's -1. So because it is starting with 0 there. And each of the component containing a location with the address A is A modulo 2 raised to k. Whichever the address is pointing out, it can take the modulo operation of that particular address with respect to the respective memory location. So this is represented by the most significant n minus k bits of the address. Okay, in this way we can design that one there. So how can we decode? We can decode this bit to derive the selected signal to activate the required memory component. So when we decode that particular thing, we can activate the particular memory component by selecting. So when we use the term select, by default you can think the component can be a multiplexer. Let us see that one. So address of the location A within the selected memory component is how much is A modulo 2 raised to k there. So this is represented by the least significant k bits of the address. So what happens, whatever the individual memory component what you're designing is that it is having a least significant address till the k bits address what we have there. Okay, so that's the thing what we can design it. If you observe here, we are simply connected these bits of the address to each of the memory component. So if you observe in the particular previous figure there, okay, we can observe addresses are connected to the respective memory locations here. Okay, so the data inputs are also connected to each of the memory component. We have seen all the sorted signal. The data output signal need to be driven by the memory component that is selected. So what happens here is that when we have 3 different memory locations in the previous design, we need to select the particular output bit depending upon the selected signal there. And when we use the term selected, the best example for this one is multiplexer, as I said. So we use a multiplexer to choose the appropriate data value based on the most significant address paid. So depending upon the mux select line, we can choose whichever the memory component we want to design there. Now let us see another example where we have a memory size is different. Let us take that example. So example is design a 64k memory. It is the size of the memory location is 64,000 kilo. Each of 8 bits. Each of 8 bits. But the manufacturer what they are given is that we have to design is 16k cross 8 bits. So composite memory using 4 16k cross 8 bits. In the question itself, they already given why 4. If you divide 64 divided by 16, we get it as 4 components there, because 16 plus 16 is 32, 32 plus 16 is 48, 48 plus 16 is 64k. So we need 4 composite memory location, which we already shown it here. So 2 raised to n is 2 raised to 16. 2 raised to k is 2 raised to 14, which is equal to 4. Or it is 2 raised to 16 is what? 65,536. 16k is what? 2 raised to 14 is 16,384. When you divide this number, we get memory components as 4. But it is already given in the question. So we can directly design it. How can we design? If you observe, our available memory size is 16k, which is 14 bits. So out of 16, we have to use only 14 bits for address of each component there. So the remaining 2 bits out of 16 bits, address 15 and 14 are decoded to select the any of the 4 memory components for read or write operation there. So what happens? These remaining 2 bits are used as a select lines for the multiplexer because we have 4 memory locations there. So those bits also control the multiplexer to select the output data from the enabled component during the read operation or the write operation there. And as I said, remaining 14 bits are used as address lines for the address decoding. So let us see what I just explained it in a design. As we have seen, we have a data inputs of 8 bits, so which is 8 down to 0. Available memory location is a 14 bits, which is a 13:0. In order to reduce the size of the component, we use only write signal. There, if write is 1, it performs write. If write is 0, it performs read operation. Now, 4 components. To select any one of the particular memory component, we have multiplexer. As I said, selecting that one is required multiplexer. And how many are there? 4. So 4 input, 1 output. For selecting this 4, we need 2 bits, which is nothing but 15 down to 14. That is 2 bits, 15 and 14. So these 2 bits are using select lines. So from whichever the memory location is there, that can be selected from the addresses decoded there with the help of a select line. So the respective output will come to the output location there. So this is the simple way of designing the 64K cross 8 bits from the available 16K cross 8 bit. Okay, clear? So what are I explained it? Now the next version, if you observe, we have used here multiplexer. So if you imagine, if we keep on increasing the multiplexer, the size of the component goes on increasing. Now, to avoid that one, we have another one device. Let us see what is that. So many manufacturers simplify the connections of the memory component to form a larger memory by using a special kind of output driver. So what happens at the output, we are using multiplexer, right? In order to avoid that complexity, we use one more output driver such that we can increase the large number of memory size design there. Okay, how is that? We call that one as tri-state buffer or tri-state driver. Okay, what are these tri-state driver for? There's the output end. These tri-state drivers are also used for buses that allows multiple data source to provide data in a system. Okay, so when tri-state buffers are there, we can use a multiple data source to be connected. That's one of the advantages. Another advantage is that if you observe a normal output pin, it can have either low or a high. Whereas in tri-state buffer, we can have the third one, that is high impedance, the ordinary component outputs, which always drives either low or high, whereas the output of a tri-state driver can turn off by placing it in a high impedance state there. So high impedance means what? Z. As we know, this is a notation for the high impedance in the digital system design. So that is commonly used as a symbol for impedance in the digital circuit. Okay, so a tri-state driver has 3 states, that is output states are logic low, logic high, and high impedance. Okay, so because of this, one advantage of tri-state is that it can act like an input as well as output. So already we have seen the CMOS operation, okay, which has 2 transistors connected, where depending upon the input and output, we get it there. How? Depending upon the on and off of the transistor there. If we give logic 0 as an input, we get logic 1. How? Because this NMOS turns off, PMOS turns on. So whatever the current is there from the voltage, it goes out. So it becomes output high. If it is input is high, what happens? NMOS is turned on. Whatever we have stored it in the output, it comes down and sinks to the ground there. So it becomes output low there. This we already seen it. Whereas tri-state buffer, what it does is that both the transistors are turned off, effectively isolating the component from the output. When both the transistors are turned off, then it is not sinking the current output. It is just isolating and keeps the output in the high impedance state there. So if we use these memory components of the tri-state device at the output side, we can construct any large number of memory. Why? You can observe the tri-state buffer is very, very small in size. So the advantages is that it can be used for large memory component design there. Due to this, we can omit the multiplexer design as you have seen it in that particular figure. So we simply connect the outputs of the memory components together with the help of a tri-state device. So whenever a read operation is performed, what happens is that only the selected memory components enables its output. So that's the advantage of tri-state. So whenever the read operation is there, this particular selected memory component is getting enabled and its output is read. Whereas all other disabled components leave the output in the high impedance state. When it is a high impedance state, it is not at all considered. So how the memory is designed with the tri-state buffer, you can observe it here. Okay. So many memory components that have tri-state data output also combines the data input and output into a single set. As I said, the tri-state can be used as a bidirectional connection. So this is one of the simple connection of a tri-state buffer where it is acting like a input here, and from this it is acting like a output. Okay, so this is the advantage of designing the tri-state buffer at the output location there. Clear? So this allows the composite memory constructions as shown in this figure. So as we have seen the previous example, 4 memory components were required. Now if you observe, this is not connected to the multiplexer. We can indicate that this is connected to the tri-state buffer there. So this is a composite memory constructed using the component with common data input and a data output. Okay, so that's the important thing what you can observe. What is happening here? Data input, sorry, these data inputs are all common. You can observe. Why it is common? You can observe here, output is connected to the tri-state buffer, which is acting like an input, and from wherever the input it is coming, it is going to the output location there. Okay, so data input and data outputs are common. So the same data lines which is thickened here is connected as bidirectional data bus, which is acting like an input depending upon the operations what we are selecting at the memory location there. Okay, the same thing has been explained. So for memory components implemented as a separate integrated circuit for use on the printed circuit board, the use of bidirectional circuits results in a significant cost saving. Okay, so what happens when we design the bidirectional? So we are avoiding the output multiplexer there, which will improve the performance, reduce the area, and reduce the cost, which is most important in our design. So when we perform a write operation, we drive the data signal with the data to be written, and we want a read operation. The selected memory component treat the data component as an input here. Okay, similarly, when we perform a read, it acts like a output there. So it keeps its tri-state driver disabled so as not to interfere with the logic level in the data signal. So what happens with tri-state driver? It makes the other component passive and the respective data signal is used as a write signal for the write operation and read signal for the read operation there. Okay, clear? So when we perform a read operation, we ensure that all other devices connected to the data signals are in the high impedance, as I already said, and allow the memory component to be enabled in a tri-state driver mode and acts like a output. So it drives the data signal with the data read from the memory operation. Whether we can use tri-state data connection in a memory, it depends on whether the implementation fabric provides them. So this is one of the restrictions what we have. Whatever the tri-state design we want to design, it depends upon the manufacturing fabric components what we are using it. Okay, so the memory components implemented as packed integrated circuits for the use in larger system implemented on printed circuit board typically do have a tri-state buffer that is for bidirectional operations. So generally when you use a printed circuit board, we try to use tri-state buffer itself. okay, in order to save the cost, area, performance. If you have any questions, go to the comment section, write down the question, I'll reply to your question. If you like my video, subscribe to my channel and share with your friends. If you like my video, click on the bell icon for further notification. Thank you.